Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So Google Stadia has announced its latest round of Stadia Pro games for October, and there are some new titles landing as well, and a new really exciting feature coming across to Google Stadia. One that will work pretty well with the TV, so can't wait to try that one out. So let's get on with the video and go over some of the new games that are launching for Stadia, the Pro games, and that brand new feature. So first up, the new games that are landing on Google Stadia. The first one is FIFA 22. So for all of you football or soccer fans, there is a game out there for you. So this is the latest installment in the FIFA series. So obviously if you are into that, it's obviously one that is worthwhile picking up. The other one that is launching is the Addams Family Mansion Mayhem, which is a 4-player adventure game where you're tasked with saving the mansion, so could be interesting, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Looks like a pretty fun and amusing game, and definitely one worthwhile playing if you want to play it as like a co-op game and play with some of your friends. But obviously the more exciting stuff is the games that are launching on October 1st for Pro. Now, the first one is Spirit Lucky's Big Adventures. So anybody who's into the Dreamcast series of Spirit, which is basically revolving around a horse, you are well and truly in luck. And again, it's going to be one of those really good ones to play if you've got kids and they're into that. It'll help to kind of occupy their minds, give them something to play on Google Stadia, so that is a big win. So basically it allows you to explore the frontier and has different quests and animals that you can collect and different items to collect as well, with an overarching story, so it looks relatively interesting. The next one that is launching is Hello Engineer, and this is going to launch first on Google Stadia. So you've probably heard of Hello Neighbor, and it's basically the same creators of that, and you're tasked with creating different things, solving different puzzles, whilst also trying to avoid the neighbor from showing up. So again, it looks pretty fun, definitely one worthwhile playing with friends, and it's really interesting to see that this is going to be launching first on Google Stadia before it comes to other platforms, so it's just nice to see. Next, really random one called Cake Bash, which is basically you play as all these different sweet treats and you have to do different puzzles and challenges and you have to beat each other up. It's like a cake fighting game. It looks absolutely bizarre, but it looks absolute ton of fun. So definitely going to have to try this one out and just see how it runs, because it just looks, I don't even know how to explain it. Like Fall Guys, but you're cakes instead. So wow, it's definitely a different take on things. The next one is Unto the End, which is a cinematic handcrafted platformer. It's basically a Souls-like game where you're trying to get your little Viking warrior home and you have to battle the way through the snow and like survival landscapes and battle all these different creatures and enemies. It looks really interesting and a very unique take on that sort of platformer style, and just very stylized, and like I said, just looks interesting and like a fun one to play. Haven't really seen too much about it ourselves, but by just looking at the trailer, certainly one that we want to try out and just see how it runs. And the final one that is launching is Control Ultimate Edition. Now this is a game I've been meaning to get around to for a long time. It tends to show up on all sorts of different streaming platforms, and we tried it out a long time ago. Really like the look of it, just a really kind of odd little take on things. You have these different powers and slowdowns and just kind of a bit of a mystery with shooting mechanics. Looks an absolute ton of fun. Really enjoyed playing the demo back in the day, so I'm really excited to see this one land on Stadia, and it's definitely the first one we'll be doing a full review on for probably not next week but the week after, so make sure you jump in for that. And the final thing that has launched is the new phone link feature. Now this basically works if you have like a Chromecast or something connected to your big screen TV. You don't have to reach for a controller. You can link up your phone if you want, and you can use your phone as a controller to play the games on your TV, which is pretty nifty. So it doesn't really solve the problem of having that tactile feel, but if you are in a bit of a pinch, maybe your controllers run out of battery, or you just don't have one to hand, or you've gone somewhere like a hotel and you can get Stadia on your TV, you can then use your phone as a controller. So that's a nice way of doing it. The more exciting thing about this is it allows you to link up any phone controller. So for example, if you've got a Razer Kishi or the Game Sir X2 that we've just reviewed, then you should, in theory, be able to connect those to your phone, connect your phone to your TV using Stadia, and then use those controllers as a Stadia controller, which is really kind of nifty. So if you are, for example, a Google Stadia fan and you want to be able to game on the go and you want to pick up something like the Razer Kishi or the Game Sir X2 or the Backbone, you can do that, and then you can use that controller in theory with the TV now as well, so you don't have to buy a separate Bluetooth controller or even like a Google Stadia controller. So a really nice little feature. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses over time and whether or not it'll end up working with a tablet, because yeah, that would be pretty interesting to see what they pull off. We're going to have a bit of a deep dive video into this because we're really intrigued by how it's going to work and what the limits of it are, so make sure you subscribe and come along for that. So a pretty exciting week in terms of Google Stadia news, some really good pro games that are coming and some interesting new games as well. But probably the standout for us is that new phone link feature, so we cannot wait to kind of just really deep dive it and just see how much we can push it until we break it, which I guess we'll find out soon. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed that video, and in the comments let us know what are you going to be playing from the October roundup. Is there anything in there that really stands out to you, and have you tried the phone link feature yet already? Because it's meant to have rolled out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, so it is available now. In the meantime, hit that like button and come along for some more awesome content in the future, and we will see you soon. Bye!